Aloha everyone, Michelle Melendez with Blossom Inner Wellness and StandTogetherHawaii.com, and there's 3 quick videos that I want to share with you and a call to action. And the action is to contact all of our Hawaii state senators, all of our Hawaii representatives, and you can get there just one email that goes to each one. So one email goes to the Hawaii senators and one email goes to the Hawaii representatives. And to recall, ask them to bring to the House floor recalling Governor Green and the mayor of Maui. And I'm just going to share my screen to show you guys why we should be doing this. Here's the first one for the Maui mayor of Maui.
You guys will never guess what I just came across. This is an article from April 10th. So just a few months ago, and you're not going to believe what it says. Listen, the mayor of Maui decided in April to change Maui's emergency fund from $3 million to $40 million in the event of a public health, economic, or environmental crisis. How many coincidences are we going to find? It's like they're not even trying to.
Yeah, not trying to hide their tracks anymore, but let me show you this one.
3 items that I'm testifying on. My name's Justin Huey. I am a teacher, a 3rd grade teacher from the burned down King Kamehameha III Elementary in Lahaina. And I am testifying on my concerns of the governor's emergency proclamation that happened 3 weeks prior to the fire, and how it suspended 7 state statutes, of which exonerated everything that you guys are in charge of, covers county organization.
He's at the Maui County Council meeting.
Administration, Chapter 46, collective bargaining was rescinded, school impact fees, collective bargaining was rescinded, and to my knowledge, this was the first emergency proclamation in the country that didn't have a preceding incident. Normally it's like a hurricane, boom, we got an emergency proclamation. But this was just, from my knowledge, was just to streamline development on Maui, and it is allocated all decision-making power to one person, the housing officer of the governor, Nani Medeiros, who's unelected, who can trump every single thing that you do and everything that you say and every item that we cover, without any input from the community, without any public discourse, without sunshine law. Before I go to my, tomorrow, I love what.
So he does go into 2 other topics. But what is the Hawaii Sunshine Law? The Sunshine Law is Hawaii's open meetings law. That means that this one person, who's the housing office of the governor, who is not an elected official, stop sharing, you've got a bunch of gnats all over here, who's not a Hawaii elected official, she's basically in control. So we don't have public testimony. We don't have, in fact, let me show you this here. Share screen. I'm just going to share desktop. And share this. I want to go to StandTogetherHawaii.com because I want to show you guys where you can go to take action. So this is StandTogetherHawaii.com, and this is a quick page that I put together, and you can just click on Maui Fires. And then on that page, you'll see the first 2 videos that I've done about questioning Maui fires, understanding what the land grab versus global warming. I actually have some information about that. But all the action to do is to email the senators, email representatives, and ask them to recall the governor, the Hawaii governor and Maui mayor. This way, we don't have to have a bunch of signatures. They're going to put it on the House, and then it goes to a vote. And here's why. Here's why we want to recall them. Because of negligence. There was a report in 2018 that showed Lahaina was in a lot of fire danger. If there was a fire, they didn't have fire breaks. They didn't have an emergency evacuation system. set in place for what would happen if there was a fire. They have plenty of information if they have a tsunami, but not for fires. There was also a lot of dried grass everywhere and just things like that. So, but this wasn't a report in 2018 that both the governor and the Maui mayor, plus the governors knew, the Maui mayors knew, this wasn't done. No transparency with the public. They're refusing to answer questions like, where are the children? The mayor was literally asked point blank, you have 108 cadavers. How many are children? And he refused to answer. He didn't answer anything. He just walked away. He absolutely refused to even answer the question. They're absolutely violating the First Amendment of the Constitution. They're blocking the freedom of the press to go in and to show people what's going on. That is a violation of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. They're allowing relief efforts for the victims of Maui to be blocked. FEMA, Red Cross, it's the people of Maui that are helping the people of Maui. Thank God for the aloha spirit that's there. Allowing police to block people's way out of Lahaina during the fire. I have seen numerous videos and testimonies showing the police doing this. They are standing more for the occupied U.S. corporation than the land of Hawaii and her people. And Hawaii is under occupation, and these legislative actors must be removed. Here's what else we want to ask the senators and the representatives of Hawaii to remove the governor's emergency proclamation that suspends 7 state statutes, is what that guy was talking about. I believe he was a teacher of King Kamehameha that burned, school that burned. This was put in place 3 weeks before the fire, and it gives the housing officer, an unelected official of the governor, complete control over housing. Complete control. The public must be a part of the rebuilding. There's no sunshine law, no public testimony, no collective bargaining. So that must be removed. The request also requests that the Maui prosecuting attorney investigate the fire. It's not normal, you guys, for a fire to burn like that, to burn metal, for it to skip houses and skip things that are the color blue and all kinds of different weird stuff. It's the same fire that was up in Paradise. Mm-hmm. And I did a video on what that fire is and why to ask questions. And it's Questioning Maui Fires. It's right there. You can watch it. And it goes about 45 minutes of that information. And then the last one is ask these people to request a new Maui coroner be hired immediately. Right now, the Maui coroner is the police chief. Okay, the police chief is the Maui coroner. That's not okay because the coroner investigates. The coroner looks at, okay, how was this person killed? Okay, so, was everybody killed from a fire? I've been hearing some really crazy stuff that I'm not going to share here because I haven't vetted it and I don't know if it's real. But we do need a different coroner than the police. This man who is new to Hawaii, he is totally not aloha. He was in charge of the worst shooting in American history, and he left there with a ton of questions that were not answered in that shooting. And now he's also the police chief of the worst fire in the American U.S. history. Interesting. So that's our action, you guys. Contact the senators and their information. Oh, I'm going to do a screen share again because I want to show you guys where that's at. Super easy to find. Okay, so you go again. This is standtogetherhawaii.com. You scroll down. Here's what to take action. Here are the bullet points. You can word it however you want. Josh Green literally said, I'm looking at ways for the state to acquire the land and create workforce housing. The other place I saw the word workforce was because the Maui financial officer is on the board for AI to see what places in government artificial intelligence can be a part of. And it said for workforce productivity. Workforce housing, is that aloha? Is that part of the aloha spirit? So you can just scroll down. You just click on Hawaii senators. Your email is going to pop up, and it'll be one email. SEN at anyway. It's one email. Same thing with the House of Representatives. Only one email. You also want to contact these two senators who go to the U.S. Congress and standing for Hawaii. We want to contact them as well. If you want to go forward and do more action, you can contact at least one. There it is, Senate at capital.hawaii.gov, and that's how to get in touch with the senators. All of the senators. It goes, one email goes out to all of the. All of the senators in Hawaii, and one email goes out to all the Hawaii representatives. So it's just really simple. Then you can click on media list. If you guys want to go forward, you can send this information to the media. You can contact the governor and the mayor if you want to tell them what you think and how they're doing. The Maui prosecuting attorney, if you want to ask him to investigate all of the stuff that's going down, that's the information is there. How to support Maui locals. These are local donation links, and then a direct link to many families who have GoFundMe. And then here's some more videos that I did. Let's see if they'll come up. There we go. Maui locals speak out. Maui fire videos. Direct energy weapons. Learning about that. That's a real thing, you guys. It's been happening since the 1950s. Mm-hmm. Then there's 3 geologists, 1 climatologist, and meteorologist of 50 years that is talking about how the world is cooling, not warming, that there is no global warming. It's like talks about how the earth is cooling. So you can actually click on those. Those are 4 different videos that will give you actually 5 different experts in climate, in geology, in the science of earth, and telling you guys the exact opposite narrative that they're sharing right now about how this is all because the earth is warming and we need carbon dioxide. If we get any more lower carbon dioxide, the earth could, the people could actually die from that. So I just wanted to share that. Lots of things on there. The last video I want to share, the last one, I'm going to share my screen one more time, is just this one video on TikTok that another friend, amazing girlfriend of mine, sent to me. This woman talks about how, and I know that if you're local and if you've been in Hawaii for a long time, you know that this is not a state. This is an occupied territory. And here's what she said. It's pretty amazing.
Red Ribbon document of 1897 of June 17th that she submitted with the Kuwait petition. This Red Ribbon document is the evidence that Queen Liliuokalani took back all our land right here on June 17th, 1897. So this proves there was no legal transfer of any kingdom land to the United States, which null and voids any abstract titles, any mortgages, any titles, liens of title companies, and any real estate companies, because our land is in total perpetuity.
I hope you guys are able to do that.
1855 probate will of King Kamehameha III.
It's a good idea.
This is Queen Keely, for those of you that don't know. This is Queen Keely.
No, Kilimai. I'm simple Kilikina.
Yeah, simple Kilikina. Just like our queen was simple too. They're both one and the same. Okay?
Okay. This is not the United States' land. Governor Green says, I'm looking for ways for the state to acquire this land.
Good for you.
This is an occupied territory, and I'm probably speaking to the choir if many of you guys know that. So
it is true.
Let's first, we were all going to be in aloha. We're all, and we're just going to be peaceful, no violence. And we are going to contact our senators and our representatives and tell them we want to recall the mayor. We want to recall Governor Green, and we want to recall his suspending of the 7 statutory laws around housing. And we tell them what we want. So that's what we're going to do. And if you guys want to learn more about how to do that, standtogetherhawaii.com. Just check out, look at the bullet points, click on the links for the email, send an email. It'll take you 30 seconds. So that would be really great if we could all do that for Maui. I'm just sending so much inner strength to those amazing people over there. Much love from the Big Island. Aloha. and our wellness, and standtogetherhawaii.com. Thank you so much. There is a guy that I have to thank, and his name is Martin Armstrong, and he's with Armstrong Economics blog, and he there's over almost 200,000 views on the video that I did on the arborist with 48-year arborist shows how Maui fires was not a wildfire. And I'm going to be interviewing one of his friends who is a fire captain of 30 years this week around understanding how these fires are starting, how to see that it's not a natural wildfire. So I wanted to do a quick video because I've gotten over 3,000 comments and there's some questions in there, and I just want to say thank you so much for everybody who's liked the video. Please like and share this video, share that one actually really, and also share the one on are you questioning Maui fires? If not, here's why. I think that's something I've named it, titled it that. That one goes through so much information on what's happening in Maui, in Hawaii. The governor suspended 7 housing laws 3 weeks before the fire. 3 weeks he suspended 7 housing laws, and they are allowing the public to come in and give their testimony, allowing collaborative bargaining, and I can't remember the other ones, but if you go to standtogetherhawaii.com and you scroll down, you'll be able to see I have links that show you what the laws are suspended, that the governor suspended. The Maui mayor, he raised the emergency funding for natural disasters or health crises from 3 million to 40 million. He raised it in April. So a lot of things that we should be questioning. I mean, not to mention the day of the fire, no water was being allowed in. There no fire trucks. The fire guys, I got somebody who was like, well, weren't the firemen there? No, they left. They left because they said it was too hot and they couldn't put it out. Numerous testimonies of police barricading the people from leaving. That's murder. That is absolute murder. I'm asking you to find those videos. I think I have some. I'll put them on Stand Together Hawaii if I can find them again. So I wanted to share answer some questions that people have. So the first question I have is, because I did hire an assistant that was trying to go through all these comments and questions. So could you please give proper credit? Okay, Robert, who's the arborist, he doesn't want his whole name out there, and he even told me that he's probably not going to do any more interviews. So he's just a very private person, and so that's I want to say so much appreciation to him, but he doesn't want a lot of publicity. But now it's like 200,000 people are going to be asking questions about him. So, but I am going to be interviewing a fire captain next week. Is it possible that the pictures were taken long enough after the fire event that the trees could be grown again? No. Trees don't regrow for years. They take years to regrow. But what you're seeing, the reason, and then somebody else asks, how can this fire melt glass, which is a whole nother degree,
2,500?
Higher, way higher than a regular wildfire. How does it melt aluminum? How does it melt the engine block in the car? How come all of the door handles are melted off, but it won't it doesn't touch the trees? I had the same question, and I asked the arborist, Robert, about why. I said, if it's a fire and it's hot, it's burning, how does it not touch the trees? And the answer he gave me was because the chemistry of the fire is different than a wildfire. A wildfire will burn the tree from the outside in, leaving black char, leaving sticks, black sticks. That is a wildfire. When you have a microwave energy fire, what it does is it doesn't touch the organic material of the tree. It doesn't recognize the actual chemistry of the fire.
The water has heavy
doesn't
metals
recognize
and minerals
the chemistry of the organic material of a tree, but it does recognize the water inside the tree. That's why the trees are burning from the inside out. because in a microwave, you can put water in it and you can heat it up and it boils and it cooks the water. Same thing that's happening. It's cooking the tree from the inside because it's cooking the water. This is why the tree dies. In a regular wildfire, it'll burn the tree from the outside in. It leaves you a black stick, and then the tree will grow. It'll actually grow back because the roots aren't burned. They don't die. In this fire, it cooks it from the inside out, so it cooks the roots. So the tree is not going to grow back. So that's what the answer that he gave me. And I was like, I finally understood. I was like, oh. And I was like, it's a fire. How come it's just not burning everything? And it's because it's actually the chemistry of the fire. It doesn't recognize the chemistry of the organics. It's quite amazing. If you go to standtogetherhawaii.com, you will see that this technology has been around, I think, since the 40s. And there's actually a Direct Energy Weapons Act on a Stand Together Hawaii / Maui fires. You can look it up. Congress actually passed an act that actually talks about it. I don't want to use those words too much. Also, you'll see on that page weather modification and a company that literally states when people look up in the sky, they see clouds. When we see potential, because they can change the weather, and they've had this technology for a very, very long time. So let me go to the next question. Why are the blue? And it has to do with the frequency, the frequency of the energy of the fire. And I'll leave the TikTok video that shows this in the description of this video. Let's see here. Yeah, somebody else was asking about Robert's channel. Does he have a channel? No, he doesn't. He doesn't have a channel. He doesn't want a channel. That might have been the last interview. Then somebody else was asking about the Gatlinburg fire in Tennessee. I just quickly looked at a picture, a website about it from Fox News. And yeah, it does look the same. It does look the same because the houses are white ash. Really interesting. There's no refrigerator, that's there. There's no toilet. There's no stove, and it's all ash. But the trees are still standing. The trees are still around. So, there was one picture that I saw of a fire on the mountain, and the trees do look like they're on fire. So I'm not sure fully about that, but the residential area that I saw looked exactly like Maui, Paradise. Remember, I'm from California, and I went to Paradise after the fires for that Christmas. I was visiting family in the area, and I was shocked. When does a white picket fence not burn, but the whole house is gone? This is something that we really need to really take a look at and say no to. What's happening here in the Hawaii Islands, what they want to do with the Maui people, which I want to show you guys a video of a woman. Oh, she's amazing. She's a Hawaiian. Let me just go there. I'm gonna do that.
What about the families that have been destroyed by this fire? And for the record, I will say this: it was not a natural disaster. This emergency proclamation is a fault. And let me tell you why. Because all of the hearings you hear, all of the testimony you hear, all of the social media you hear, it connects the dots to what's happening in Lahaina. Lahaina was our first United Kingdom capital. Funny how all the common people were taken out in one fell swoop of a fire. Fire department, police department on Maui did nothing to get those people out. In fact, they blocked roads. And I can say that with a fact because the people in Lahaina testified to that. The sad thing that I have right now in my hand is this court document. You should not be having this meeting because it was filed. You should not be talking about Lahaina here as it was stated before. Where's the mayor of Maui? Even though this is a housing issue, that's the island he represents. I'm shaking right now. Because I look at this, and if some of you are here really fighting for the people, mahalo. Speak up. Don't be afraid of the rest of the people here. Speak up. Mahalo, Tita. That's our people. And if this is just a money issue for you guys, get out of your seat. Please. Nani, you speak about talking to the people. Hold a meeting in Lahaina Civic Center or wherever they have room for, and hear the people, hear their stories, hear their heartbreak, hear their demise. You can turn that off because I'm not going to end until I end, and I'm not being disrespectful. You cannot limit the people's voice to 3 minutes. This is devastation. From the day that fire went on here in Honolulu and all the other islands, the people are the ones who got the donations to them. The water, the food, the clothing. Guess what? Coast Guard, FEMA trying to stop us from going in. While the people inside Lahaina is suffering. Yes, we found other ways to get them there. And I could go on and on with the people who showing themselves on social media. The celebrities, the president. Come on. He couldn't even pronounce names correctly. Why was he here? A photo op? Or truly for the people? You folks here should be asking the people what they need. Not the representative sitting in state legislature. The people. Unfortunately, and I'm going to read this real quick, and this goes to the Housing Authority. Local authority housing or council housing is housing you can live in that is owned by the local authority. No, it should be owned by the people. You have to apply for local authority housing. Your council will assess your needs and decide if you are high priority. Every person in Maui is a high priority right now. There is tons of land in Maui. Why move them to the Big Island? Now you stress Big Island people. Now you take away from Big Island people. There are Maui people who came to Honolulu. I have a friend in here right now, Jessica, who housed Maui people. But yet we got no help. We got no help from the government. But that's how we do in Hawaii. We help. Mm-hmm. We take care. Correct, as Al said, malama. Please don't make this a job, which all of you obviously have, besides those that are really trying to fight for people. Make this your mission to get these people back on their feet. There's been lots of so-called celebrities saying that they're giving $100 million, all these millions of dollars. Where's the money? The money should not be going into Hawaii Community Foundation or any other foundation. That money should be going directly to the people. Do you know that with that $100 million, you can bring in lumber? And all the people who lost their homes, I guarantee you, majority of the men were construction workers. They can go in. Hawaiian Homestead, I'm on the list. I'm on the top of the list. Hawaiian Homestead, they do a self-help building, which lessens their mortgage. Why not do that? Pull these guys in. Bring their morale back up because they just lost everything. They can help their community build. See, you guys think inside the box. We're thinking outside the box. It's not about money. It's not about money laundering. It's not about taking money from one program to the other so that you guys can collect the money. Take the money out of the limelight and put the people. The sad thing is, and I'm going to say this even though this might not directly deal with you folks, the officials on Maui have not yet thought about the people. They are thinking about backtracking, backpedaling, name gaming. They're blaming each other. So people are getting fired. People are resigning. Because the top of the line, the top of the chain, refuse to take responsibility. This is not about, oh, we're going to make a memorial. I wish he was here, because I would tell him to his face. Lahaina is not about making a memorial. I saw on so much social media that the banyan tree was more important than the people. It's a tree. Yes. It is something that's been there for decades. But guess what? In a couple more decades, another tree will be there for a couple decades.
So that was a public meeting with no elected officials. The governor left as soon as the testimonies started from the people. He walked out because, one, he's a coward, and two, because he knows the agenda. Last month, the month prior, he was at the United Nations saying how Maui was going to be the first smart city. The Maui financial chief officer is on a board to discuss how AI, artificial intelligence, can help govern the island of Maui for workforce productivity. That's what it actually says on his site, and I'll leave the link. I think it's on standtogetherhawaii.com. But also the mayor or the governor saying how his first thing out of his mouth after the fires was not, we're taking care of the people, everybody's housed, we have food and water, given to them, and everybody's being taken care of right now. His first words, I'm looking for ways for the state to acquire the land for workforce housing. Then the financial, like I said just a second ago, the Maui financial officer who's on the board with the AI says this is going to help with workforce productivity. Workforce. What are they planning on enslaving all the Hawaii Islands, starting with Maui first? So here's an action plan. We want to contact our representatives. Standtogetherhawaii.com. Click on Maui Fires. If you don't live here, you can still contact these representatives. Just put in there, tell that Governor Green must step down. He needs to resign. He needs to be booted off of these islands, as well as the Maui mayor, who's not answering any questions about the children. There's 2,000 children missing. Where are they? And where are their parents screaming bloody murder about their children? Where the heck are my children? Where are these people? They say 115 people are dead, but yet we have thousands of people that are missing, including children. And nobody's saying a word about it. Because why? They're waiting for this to blow off. America, do not let Maui blow off, because time passes and we all have our lives to live and we're all just trying to, do the best we can. Make a stand. Make a stand, America, for these Hawaii Islands. Because it's going to take all of us. If it can happen here, it can happen in your neighborhood. It can happen with your children. All of these Hawaiian children are everybody's children. So make a stand. Go to standtogetherhawaii.com, click on Maui Fires. It'll give you a one email to the state representatives, one email to the state senators, and say, Green must come down, he must be booted off the islands, and we want an investigation into this fire. We want to know where the children are. So much mahalo to you, and sending all Lahaina people and Maui people inner strength. We are with you. We stand with you. Standtogetherhawaii.com, you guys. Much love. Aloha, everyone. Michelle Melenis with standtogetherhawaii.com. And I'm doing a video on updating you on the whole Maui fires, as well as sharing some information that you're not going to hear from the mainstream narrative, as well as action steps that we as people here who love these Hawaii Islands, and even if you are not living on the islands of Hawaii, but you love Hawaii and you love the feeling and the spirit of aloha, the actions we can take that contacting our representatives on this state and the senators, as well as Governor Green, telling them that we do not comply with the mainstream narrative, that what they're saying as a natural occurrence with just the Dora hurricane winds is normal, that burning boats on the ocean is a normal thing that a wildfire can do. I'm going to show you guys where that's coming from, how that could happen, and as well as they're also going to claim that this is climate change. It's because of climate change. I'm going to give you 3 different scientists, MIT engineer, a professor from the University of Melbourne, 2 geologists that actually show, even I'm going to show you a graph that shows you the CO2, where the CO2 is right now, and that if it gets any lower, that it could potentially harm human life. So we do not want to lower CO2. CO2 actually is what plants breathe, that then give us oxygen to breathe. So I'm going to share that with you, and then at the very end, I'm going to share with you who to contact. I think I already said that. The representatives, the senator, and Governor Green, that we do not comply with the narrative. We want them, we demand that they look deeper into this, and that they look into direct energy weapons. And my heart is just sunk thinking about Maui. I have a relative who was married on Maui, and Maui, they say that the Hawaii Islands, we have chakras. The different islands are chakras, and that big island is the root chakra, safety. It's got Pele, and it's the red, it's fire, and that's all root. Maui is the it's my phone. Maui is the heart chakra. Maui is the heart chakra of all the Hawaii Islands. Kauai is the crown, Oahu is the throat, and just thinking about this makes my blood boil and get chicken skin all over right now. But this information needs to come out, and so here we go. I'm going to share with you a person, and I'm gonna do a video on my laptop. So right now I'm filming on my iPad, and I'm going to be flipping it around and do some magic with iMovie to fix the editing. But anyway, here is a local woman who is in Maui right now, who lives on near Lahaina.
I'm Raylene and located in Maui. I live in Kihei, and I wanted to share some local updates. Shocking, or maybe not. Did you hear about the fires? Did you hear that the government of Hawaii states their goal is to rebuild and make the entire island of Maui the first smart island? They want the entire island governed by AI, is outlined in the Hawaii Digital Government Summit of 2023 that they plan to host next month on September 25th, 2023 on Maui. Wow! Now they're going to come to the rescue for this horrible problem. And last January in 2023, there was a Smart City Conference in Maui to turn Maui again into the Smart City Island, pushing everything electric, making 15-minute smart cities. And there was also a contract last year to build a high-rise condo complex and businesses in Lahaina, which is a historic town that couldn't have any new development in this area. But now it's demolished, so now I guess they have to rebuild, right?
I wanted to pause there because I want to go to Governor Green, and I have my notes here. So I want to show you what Governor Green has to say about this. So that I wanted to start there because I wanted to tell people are going, well, why? Why, Michelle? Why would they do this? She just gave you why. She just told you that smart cities, the 15-minute cities, the electric. If everybody had electric cars and the grid goes down, we would have nothing. And I'm not going to get on my soapbox about that because I can change this whole thing into a whole different video, but I'm not going to do that. So let's go to Governor Green.
With us, Governor Josh Green, and now you just told me that you do have the latest for us as far as people going back to their homes on Maui.
Yeah, so first of all, thank you for the coverage. Mayor Bisson's and his team have been working all night long, putting together the plan with us to get people back to their homes. So they will announce today the capacity for people to, in a controlled fashion, go back to their homes. There will likely be a curfew, but we know how badly people want to get back to the extent that their homes are still there. Now, originally, we thought it was just a couple hundred structures burned. As you know, there are many more than that. The estimates will continue to rise. People, in many cases, will find, tragically, that their home was destroyed. So our hearts are out for people. Our love is out for people who lost loved ones. We're being careful about the return to properties because we want to be sensitive to what they will see. We're also being careful because there's just so much uncertainty and questions in the air because there's very little communication. The communication systems were destroyed. So people will be able to get back to their houses today, and meanwhile, we will do all that we can to continue search and rescue.
So FEMA, now they're going to be helping with going into some of the buildings because I know that people are concerned about how many people have perished throughout this, and I know getting in is kind of a very treacherous situation.
It is. So the benefit of our relationships with Washington are that we had FEMA here on the scene immediately. Bob Fenton has been extraordinary, and his team are bringing in additional resources as we speak, flying in overnight. Also, the FEMA director will be here tomorrow, and I will be with her touring the damage again on Maui tomorrow, likely with the other leaders, including the mayor. So we will have all the leadership from the top on down here. But
Okay, so he talked about FEMA. I'm gonna go back to I think her name is Raylyn from Roots Restored Wellness, and I want her to tell you guys what FEMA is doing in Maui.
There's so much going on. There's people who need assistance. We went to the War Memorial Shelter, which we learned has been taken over by FEMA. They've taken a whole bunch of supplies. People do not know where they're going. They don't trust that they're actually going to be delivered to people in need. In past FEMA situations, after disasters, they found containers full of supplies that were never given to the people. And if you go to the War Memorial, people are being told to go there if you need assistance. They are turning everyone away, saying that it's not a distribution center. It's a shelter, and unless you're checked into this shelter, you will receive nothing. And I will say, for donations on the island, please be considerate of your fellow humans, because there's a lot of moms that need diapers and wipes and formula, and everything has been purchased and given as donations, and now it is being hoarded by Red Cross and FEMA, not being distributed to those who actually need them. So ship things in from Amazon. I shared today that you could ship things to the Maui Food Bank. There's some other local organizations that will actually get your items to the people. And FEMA is also making people sign paperwork just to receive assistance. We did find, through local word of mouth, a place where we could donate our time today, and we assisted the Hungry Heroes of Hawaii at Buzz's Wharf in Ma'alia. I said that right. Great place. If you need donations or if you have some to drop off, you can. It's a staging area right before the road is shut down to get into the Lahaina area. They were not allowing anyone through unless you had, if you had a supply truck full of supplies to help the people in these areas, you were not allowed through unless you had a specific contract or permission from a certain agency to come through. And where would you get that permission from? So lots of people are being denied. They're trying to come in with supply trucks to assist. This Hungry Heroes, they were able to get some trucks in yesterday. They were supposed to meet with the mayor and officials. They said they waited around for 5 hours, being told to move to different locations, and then they were eventually kicked out and said, why are you even here? And they were trying to coordinate to drop off and deliver supplies. And they can get to the supplies, but there's nowhere to drop them off or give them to anybody because everything is so disorganized. They also brought 150 meals, cooked meals, to help the people who need them. And they were denied because it was not cooked in a commercial kitchen. So not being allowed to distribute. All the roads in and out of Lahaina are blocked except for specific personnel, and it's up in the air. We don't know anymore. Maybe if you're a resident with an ID. That was open yesterday, and they supposedly shut it back down after a few hours because people were trying to take photos of the damage that happened in Lahaina. Heaven forbid that they go to their houses and do anything. There are boats making supply runs. Some of them are saying that they've had to push through barricades to get in and deliver supplies because, again, the government officials are trying to shut down local assistance. It seems like they only want FEMA and they only want Red Cross. Yet, when you talk to people on the ground, where's FEMA? Where's Red Cross? They're not doing anything. They're not distributing the supplies. I did hear that there are supplies on the ground in Lahaina finally. There are some locals who set up Starlink stations so that they can get back online. Power's been out, water's out. They haven't had internet. And so they're starting to bring in some Starlink so people can get back online. They're bringing in supplies. People are able to access some food. Again, not a lot of information coming out of that area yet. There's, again, some people, you might be able to find other videos of exact footage. We talked to some people today, and a firefighter said that he alone pulled out over 80 bodies. And I think that's the count that they're giving you for the death toll. We're estimating that it's over 1,000 people. That's horrific. Why is the government being so hush-hush and shutting everything down and not letting people know what's really going on?
That's what I'm talking about. This is the most devastating disaster ever in the history of these islands. And there's more I'm going to share. So let's all just keep breathing. And I'm also going to share some hope at the end of, again, what we can do, and the fact that we have to remember that, I'm just going to keep sharing because I don't have any words right now. So what I'm going to share next is Congresswoman Jill Takada, and she is being interviewed by KITV Weather, and I want you to notice that she doesn't answer the questions that he's asking. Notice where she's leading the conversation.
United States Representative Jill Takuda of Hawaii's 2nd Congressional District joins us now. Congresswoman, great to have you with us here on Fox Weather, but these scenes have been awful coming in from the last 24 hours. Heartbreaking scenes where we've seen entire communities being destroyed. What's the action happening right now in the fight against these wildfires?
Well, Ian, it has been absolutely heart-wrenching, devastating for us to watch, our home literally being destroyed. We haven't seen something like this since Hurricane Iniki that took out the island of Kauai. And when we saw pictures as daylight was emerging today, just the massive devastation of a place that we love, where so many of our memories are created. And it really has been a full force effect in terms of making sure that we do everything we can to support the residents there. As you said, the Coast Guard literally pulling people out of the ocean that were fleeing there from safety, from the flames that were coming up. I spoke a little while ago with Secretary Mayorkas. He's pledged the full support of all of his agencies to make sure we get the help that we need. FEMA already coming in with more firefighting support. That has made such a difference for us to know that we are going to go forward with the federal government's support, standing side by side as state, county government, everyone, the private sector. We pull together in Hawaii. We are Ohana, but we need a lot of help right now. This is going to be something that will require a lot of work for quite some time going forward.
Yes,
So she doesn't